Okay, well, it's another day. My engine compartment's done for now. I'm underneath the car. I got the car jacked up a little bit. I'm laying in the driveway, which is always really pleasant. And I'm just looking at this, I'm looking at the undercarriage of the car. Overall, it's pretty darn good. So I'm back at the gas tank now in the floor pan. And this is where I see this flakiness here. So this is where, before I rust treat, I'm gonna remove a lot of the flaky stuff. So, right. I'm upside down. It's not pleasant, but it's totally doable. So I'm gonna get the wire wheel, the flap disc, and I'm gonna get turn this back around now. I'm going to get whatever I can under here. There's a few pieces of metal on the floor that have to be redone. But I think this is just a sneak peek. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to be scraping the undercarriage. I'm going to be removing that transmission. And then removing this exhaust pipe, which is hanging down and in the way. So, this is what the next phase will be. Okay, on the Comet again today. I did some more wire wheeling. I did a video earlier, but I just was not able to get underneath here without having the camera go wonky on me. So basically, I'm doing the wire wheeling. I found myself a better wire wheel, not just the drill with the cup. I got one of these on my angle grinder, and it's quite a bit more aggressive, and it's worked out quite well. So I'm just going to go under. Hopefully the camera won't flip itself. I'll try to keep it as steady as I can. So I don't know if you can see any of this. It's getting a little, the sun is going down now, but I've done a lot of wire wheeling under here. And what we have here, the wheel takes off the flaky bits, and what's left here is some pretty nice solid metal. Like, this car looks pretty good. Like, this is perfect. There are some issues. Okay, there's no doubt there's some issues. These little frame stiffeners or cross, I can't even think what these are called right now. This car is a unibody car. It's got like a frame, but it's a frame that's welded. And there's an example there. I wire wheeled that today. Hopefully you can see that. That's bare metal, clean, and very nice. I mean, obviously, the floor pan's going to be replaced. I started looking. The older Mercury Comet stuff is a little bit harder to find. I don't have the skills to make a pan like this with all the ribs and stuff, so I'm hoping I'll be able to find one. I can certainly cut it out and tack it in, but as far as fabricating, let's be real, it would look like crap. But there's my subframe. Looks very clean. The car is very stiff. When I jack it up, I can jack the front, and literally the back comes up. So it's a small car. I'm not going to call it a subframe, because most cars that have a subframe, it detaches. I don't know what you call this. It's unibody. It is a frame, but it's one of those where the rails are welded to the floor. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy. There's some issues here. This was kind of beat up a little bit, so I took the hammer and the duckbill pliers and I kind of straightened this back out a little bit. It's still attached. There's some issues here in the floor, but I'm going to get this from within the car. There's a little bit of an issue on the frame back here. So I took the wheel off on this side, and you can see there I took the wire wheel to this frame, and you can tell that this is, I mean, there's still a little bit of goopy stuff left on there, but I mean, this is shiny clean metal. So I'm really happy about this car. I mean, yes, I've got a mountain of work ahead of me. It's a huge project, but at least I'm starting with a pretty good foundation, I think. I mean, for 58 years old Canadian car, that's pretty damn good. I do have a little bit of an issue back here, and it's on both sides. I gotta be careful my camera doesn't go wonky on me because I'm laying down. right here. I don't know if you can see that. Right where the leaf spring comes back for the hanger. I ground this down and I could see little waviness and stuff, so I took my chipping hammer and yeah, I've got a soft spot here, so not a big deal. You know, you just cut this, cut it out, make a little angle iron, weld it in there. Now the hard part obviously is welding upside down. I'm not a great welder, but the welds are not, they're not overly complicated. There's the gas tank there. It's not bad. It's not bad. I scrubbed off the flaky bits. It's the floor trunk. That looks pretty good. The wheel wells, I went as high as I could in the wheel wells. They're solid. Now what's going to be really tough is the quarters. Because, excuse my filming, somebody had done a repair at one point. Kind of a crude repair, which, yeah, it kind of works, you know. He just got some of this angle, you know, this perforated stuff, and he folded it and he tacked it. You know, with enough Bondo, you can make it look good, but that's, I don't want this. I want something, I mean, I'm not going to make it, this is not going to be a show car, but I don't want that. I want something better. Again, I do not have the skills to form metal. I really don't. I'm not going to lie, and I don't even think I'm going to try. But if I can find these quarters, now the like I said, the Comet stuff is hard to find. But I think, and the Comet's different up here than the, for example, the Falcon or the Ranchero. But I think that down here, I think even if I got a panel, even if it's different up here, I only need, my issues are down here. So I could even chop, and maybe somebody can chime in if they think they're different or they're similar, or if they don't fit at all, please let me know. You know, there's some Bondo here. So what I would like is to get a panel, you know, cut all this out and put a new piece in. You know, and there's also this comes down like this also, comes around, and also up in here, the trunk extenders, I mean, they're gone too. But like a little patch like this, I mean, you know, I would be quite capable of cutting a square, welding a square in. You know, that's something I can do. But as far as fabricating fancy, to me, this is too complicated for me. As far as fabricating, I don't have benders, I don't have stretchers, you know, I don't have a wheel. I'm happy just to buy my panels. A lot of people wouldn't buy the panels, they would make them because they're too expensive. For me, I'd rather just buy it, bite the bullet, pay the price, and get a piece that I can just hold up here, trace out, cut, and put that in. So, yeah. So that was a day on the Comet today, working underneath. I got pretty much this half done. So this half here, I've gone up to I'm going to consider this done on this side for now, minus all the metal work. That's the driver's side floor pans. The other side, the passenger side, that's still all hairy and flaky. So that'll be for maybe tomorrow or the next time I'm out. But this is what I've exposed today. You know, a little dent here. Not sure what happened. But it doesn't matter. This is good, clean, solid metal. I mean, the rubber plugs are still in there. This is good. This is good. I'm happy. I mean, here's the rocker. I mean, this is friggin' solid and hard as a rock. I mean, you know, 2008s in Nova Scotia where I live would have no rockers left at all. So this metal is obviously very thick. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, the car does need a little bit of metal work. I've mentioned that several times. But overall, it's good. So I got one half done. The plan is to, I've probably mentioned this, but I'm going to descale, as in wire wheel, flap disc, whatever it takes, chip, get all the hairy stuff off. And then I'm going to come back with some rust treatment. I think it'd be next to impossible to, you know, if I had a fancy rotisserie or something like that, I could make it even nicer. But I'm working on the ground. I'm going to come back with the rust converter. I'm going to put it in my in my sprayer. I'm just going to spray, and hose it off, let it dry. Once it's dry, I'm just going to get some rust paint, and I'm going to paint the undercarriage in black. But of course, you know, I'm going to be doing some, then I'm going to be coming back and cutting and doing some, like it'll kind of all over the place, but it is what it is. I'm doing what I can. In my previous video, you've seen I've already come in here and I've already wire wheeled and cleaned everything, and I've painted. So just to, you know, like I painted all this area here. Obviously, it's going to have to be ground down and cut, but for now, it's considered protected, and yeah, happy with that. So this, like right below me, is that little strengthening member. And that's where there's a little bit of rot there. So I'm gonna come in with my zip cut. I don't have a plasma cutter, but I've got a zip cut. That should do it for the just for the square stuff. And I'm just gonna cut out little squares, and I'm gonna piece them in one at a time, taking my time. The little stuff I can do, I will do with sheet metal, like right here. It's still all metal, but it's full of little pinholes. It's gotten so thin. So I'm gonna cut out a square here, put a piece of sheet metal in there. Weld all around, grind it, seam seal. I still got to come back and do some more seam sealing, yes. And then once I'm done, I'm obviously going to recoat everything in paint. So it's a big project, but I'm just going to take my time and try to have fun with it. Today was extremely dirty, working underneath with all this stuff here. Like literally, you know, I could probably fill 3 or 4 pails of the stuff that came off just on this side. So, but anyway, I got the car up on the stands. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I got one half done. More to come on the Comet. So next time I come out, I'll be working on the other side. Okay, that's all for now. Okay, I'm back out on the Mercury Comet today. I've been away. I was at work, and yesterday I posted a couple of videos. I did one on my Toyota Tacoma. I was having an issue with wheel spacers and my oversized tires. So anyway, I posted that video yesterday. I also posted a video. I had started work on my old building about a month ago, and I had quite a bit of footage. And what I want to do is I want to document a little bit of the doing a little bit of a renovation on this building. So yesterday I posted part 1 on that. Basically I was just showing how I just jacked the building back up, put it back up to level, cut out any rotten wood, and this is all the kind of stuff I've been working on. So back out on the Mercury Comet, which is what I want to be working on. Yesterday evening I pulled out the old transmission. This is a Ford-O-Matic 2-speed transmission. Kind of the same idea as a one of those Chev Power Glides, but it's a Ford version. I pulled this out. I don't know the status of this transmission. Very cruddy. Obviously it has not been touched in years and years and years. But basically the main reason why I took this out is I don't believe that this will made up to a 302, and I just recently purchased a Ford 302 V8. That's what I want to put in this car. This car originally came with a 170 straight 6. So I got this old transmission out of the way. Don't think it will fit. I may take the bell housing off just to see if it'll made up to the 302, but I have my doubts. Ideally I will find a C4 transmission for this car. I also took out the old exhaust that was in the way, so I've cleared up quite a bit of room, so I can go back and I can carry on with what I started a while back, and that was the wire wheeling of the undercarriage. So, and that's what I'm going to carry on with today. I took some footage previously, but I have not posted anything yet. I pretty much have the driver's side done, and now I've just started over on the passenger side. So basically that transmission was in the way. You can see now the transmission is gone, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on with the wire wheeling of the undercarriage. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking off the fuzzy and the hairy rusty flakes, and the plan after that is to rust treat. And once that's done, I'm going to consider that step complete, and I'm going to jump back into the inside of the car, and I'm going to start on the metal work on the floor. This car is in pretty good shape. Like I've said before, for its age, it's in pretty good shape, but it does need metal work. The inside has been derusted, cleaned out, and painted. But as you see, there's little bits here. So I'm going to start with this stuff. I've just upgraded my welder to a little bit of a better one. I am able to weld. I am not a great sheet metal welder. So I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to start with the easy panels. Well, what I would consider easy, as in cut out a little rectangle strip, weld in a new one. I'm going to start with this stuff over here. Gotten very thin. I'm going to cut a square, put this in. When it comes to larger areas like this, I'm still waiting on my Eckler's catalog. Hopefully they'll have the sheet metal I need, and I'm just going to order the floor pans and stuff. I'm going to pay. I know they're expensive, but I really don't have the skills, and I don't have the bead rollers or anything, or the benders to make all these creases and grooves. So I'm just going to buy the pieces. That's where I'm at in the Comet. I'm going to put this phone down, and I'm going to get underneath with my wire wheel, and I'm going to carry on. Okay, a little update on the Mercury. I took out the shocks. I took out the drive shaft. I've been wire wheeling, kind of going at it pretty hard here. Been at it for a couple hours. I'll just see if I can give you a little update without flipping myself around. So I'm wire wheeling. Get underneath the car, my favorite position. So some nooks and crannies are hard to get at. Obviously the wheel wells and that are hard to get at, but the flat surfaces are coming along pretty nice. Excuse my hand. A lot of good metal exposed there, and the metal is fairly solid. I did find a couple of problematic spots. I think I've shown you these before. I'll show you again in case I didn't. Excuse me. Right here, obviously, there's some areas here that are going to need attention, but this is all doable. So both frame rails at the back, right behind the hangers, are exactly like this. And I found another place at the front, which I was a little bit surprised, because the front is very good. I just got to get in position here. Let me just pause this while I get in position. Okay, and here we are again. This is the passenger side front, and as you can see, the metal is nice metal. A couple of nooks and crannies that are really hard to get into, but I even did the rail. Looks good. It looks good everywhere. The pans are good, except for a few little areas. We've got some good metal. Now, my frame rail, ironically, I've got a situation like this. So you can literally go from bare metal like this, which I've had the hammer on this. This is good. In fact, the whole car is jacked up on this. And I'm laying underneath it. Of course, the wheels are on, so it's not really going to go anywhere. But yeah, so the rails are good for the most part. The cross member here is very good, where the old transmission attached is perfect. It's all good, all good, all good down the sides. But right here, we got a situation. But this is just a boxed in area. I mean, the hard part is welding upside down. Other than that, this is a pretty easy fix. I'm going to do my damnedest to fix this the best I can. And for any reason, if I can't do it, if I can't make it look good, I mean, I'm just going to break down. I'm going to get somebody else to do it for me. But I'm going to try. Like I said, the floor should be fairly easy. I don't even think I'm going to get a pan. Actually, I'm going to get pans for the front, although this side is pretty good. I will get pans for the front, and the rest, like little areas like over here, I'm going to get those from inside the car. Oh, that's shiny. I'm going to get those from inside the car, and this is just going to be cutting little little flaps and then putting them down. So for the most part, the car is good. Been wire wheeling for a couple hours. It's kind of hard work. It's kind of shitty. You're laying on the ground. You know, if you had a rotisserie, of course I don't have one of those and I'm not gonna, you know, you can get much better results, but for the most part, the car is solid. I've gone around with the wire wheel just about everywhere, and with the chipping hammer, the areas that are bad will be cut out and re-welded. And this is by no means going to be a show car, but so far so good. It was a good day of progress, and just going to crawl out from under here, and we'll have a look at under the hood. Okay, another thing I did is when I took a little break from grinding is I came underneath and I shaved off all the insulation that was under the hood, and I just painted it in some black here. I think that dressed it up quite nice. Of course, I got dust all over my nice black paint here, but once the hood's dry, I'm just going to hose this off and wash it. And yeah, this is taking shape. So hopefully, when I come back out, I still want to de-rust underneath. I'm going to spray with some product underneath, and then I'm going to start in here. I'm going to start cutting, and I'm going to start playing with the welder. So more to follow on the Comet.